The first Hassan. He goes by many names, such as Grand Assassin, King Hassan, Gramps, and Bone Daddy. His true name and origins, however, haven't been revealed to us, and probably never will be. But there is a theory that floats around. You might have heard of it, or maybe even thought of it yourself without influence. If you haven't, though, well, then I'm about to blow your mind. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Anime Void. I'm Brian, your host, and today we're doing something special, the start of a series of servant analysis videos. One of my biggest passions is character creation, design, and analysis. It's why I have the Creating My Own series and plan to make more projects like Fate Garden of Sinners, but with more original characters. But in the vein of Fate Garden of Sinners, I do love to look at already existing characters, see what makes them tick, and use that knowledge in various ways, be it as a what-if series, or in this case, theories and interpretations. And what better way to start this series than with an enigmatic servant that everyone loves except for Game Press? Seriously, you can't call Gramps one of the best solo servants in the game and then bash him for being too reliant on other servants. That is contradictory. But regardless of that, let's start with the facts that we do know about the first Hassan. Firstly being that, well, he's the first. He's the great founder of the Order of Assassins known as the Hassassin, which I am probably butchering. He is the original Hassan-i Sabah, or Old Man of the Mountain. This is also a religious sect in Fate, specifically of Islamic origins. He and his followers kill in the name of Allah, and though they assassinate in the name of Allah for their beliefs, they are not actually blessed by him. And if not for the Throne of Heroes, perhaps they would even be damned. But that is very much speculation on my part, though not without merit. There seems to be a common misconception that Gramps has the powers that he does as part of some kind of divine gift, but that is not the case. The first Hassan is certainly a man of unshakable faith in his god, but has received no blessings. His skill, Protection of the Faith, shouldn't be confused with such. It is the manifestation of his belief and will emboldening him. Instead, the man who would become the first Old Man of the Mountain achieved this status of his own accord, training in the Valley of the Shadow of Death until he became that shadow. He tore away his own flesh and dug out his organs, reducing his natural body from rank A to rank C in order to complete his training, all in the name of Allah. And that is very important to note. Before his training, he had natural body A. Natural body is given to those who have had a perfect body as a living being since birth. Gramps had a near perfect form and still retains a decent level even after mutilating himself to such a degree. So, we have a man who kills in the name of Allah, but is unblessed by him and was born with the body close to perfection. There's just one more piece to this puzzle that will lead us to his true identity. And that is the fact that Gramps is the only being worthy of holding the title of Grand Assassin. There is no other. Now I want you to think about that. We can guess that the qualification must be to become synonymous with death in some way. And do remember that divine spirits are actually barred from becoming grand servants. But in all myth, legend, and history, is there truly no one else that could be considered synonymous with death that isn't a deity? Especially if we look at the very beginning, to when murder was first introduced into this world. wouldn't the person who was the first to kill another person be a perfect candidate? Unless, of course, that person is actually the same person we've been talking about this entire time. So yes, the theory is that the first Hassan is actually Cain from the book of Genesis. Although, since he's Muslim, it would more accurately be Qabil. But as the Old Testament, Torah, and Quran versions of the story are nearly identical, and the fact that liberties are going to be taken regardless, I will be referring to the Old Testament names and specific text for the sake of simplicity on my end. No offense meant to those of the Islamic faith, I'm just a big dum-dum. As the story goes, the first humans, Adam and Eve, had several children after being exiled from Eden, most notably the brothers Cain and Abel. These children would be 1 degree removed from being directly created by God. So, having near-perfect bodies isn't much of a stretch. Still, Cain was jealous of Abel as he seemed to be preferred by God. God accepted Abel's sacrifice, but rejected Cain's. Consumed by his jealousy, Cain took his brother out into a field and killed him. Thus, the first murder was committed on earth. God called down, and this is what transpired. And the Lord said to Cain,
"Where is Abel, your brother?"
And he said, I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said,
"What have you done? Listen, your brother's blood cries out to me from the soil. And so cursed shall you be by the soil that gaped with its mouth to take your brother's blood from your hand. If you till the soil, it will no longer give you strength. A restless wanderer shall you be on the earth."
And Cain said to the Lord, My punishment is too great to bear. Now that you have driven me this day from the soil, I must hide from your presence. I shall be a restless wanderer on the earth, and whoever finds me will kill me. And the Lord said to him,
"Therefore, whoever kills Cain shall suffer sevenfold vengeance."
And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, so that whoever found him would not slay him. This mark that God put upon Cain is simply known as the Mark of Cain. It is a topic of not only theological discussion, but also fiction, such as Supernatural, which I have no shame in referencing because Timothy Amundsen is amazing, even though I don't think I pronounced his name right. But we'll mostly be focusing on a fictional variety, as we are essentially creating Fate's version of the story of Cain and Abel. So, much like a fascist government, liberties will be taken. So let's start from the beginning. Here, Cain is still jealous of Abel and kills him and is still cursed by God. This curse is the first step, and let's say that the mark of Cain is an actual physical mark on his body. It is not just on the flesh that he so desperately tried to tear away, but is even branded in his bones. And so he is cursed to forever wander the earth, no longer able to sow life. He longed for repentance, but in this state, how could he ever hope to find it? In the tranquil valley, he made his decision. He would take what he had done, the act of taking another's life, and perfect it. Salvation was no longer within his reach, but his blade would deliver it to those who have gone astray. He would seek to become Azrael, angel of death. There would be no room for regret. His sin was done, unchangeable. All that could be done was to serve his Lord above in the only way he was now able to, in the pits of shadow and death. And that is how Cain, son of Adam, architect of murder, became the old man of the mountain. At least in theory. We will likely never be told the true origins of this character, and honestly, that's great. It's good to have some characters shrouded in mystery, otherwise we wouldn't have theories like this. I wouldn't have been making this video. Being able to apply your own personal interpretations onto a piece of media is a great thing and gives you a special and unique connection to it. Other people's connections and interpretations can be similar, but they will never be exactly yours, and it's wonderful. And that's what I want these videos to be, me sharing the connections I have with these characters. So, if you enjoyed this one, please let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I'm very interested to find out. And if you want to see more videos like this, as well as reviews and lists for other anime and manga, be sure to like and subscribe as well. And don't forget to hit that bell icon too, so you don't miss an upload. And I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch as well. Also, if you would like to support this channel even further, helping me create bigger projects and making videos like this one better and better, please consider supporting me on Patreon. All the links are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time in the void. Later.